All right, so we're back with another video for you guys, another reaction video. So today we're going to be reacting to Organik's latest video on his channel. Man, this man has been dropping so many videos now. I think he actually dropped 2 videos. The last one that we reacted to was the one where he was with his Swiss wife in the car. But since then, he's dropped another video about him leaving Europe, and then he just dropped this one 3 hours ago. She wouldn't let me leave. So we'll probably react to the one about him. Yeah, this one. I have to leave Europe. We're going to check that one out. But before we check that one out, I actually wanted to talk about his cameraman, Farid, in case you guys forgot. He never really explained, like, what happened with Farid, like how they separated. Did he just like fire him? Like, what exactly happened? Like, that man just suddenly disappeared off the channel. It seems like right before he decided to go to Switzerland and got rid of the crib, got rid of the cars. I assume it's probably right around that same time period that he also got rid of Farid, because you don't see Farid anymore. Even like leading up to him going to Switzerland, then he went back to the States to get rid of the car. I think it was the Urus, and I think the jewelry and some other stuff as well. Even then, Farid never showed up on camera. But next thing I know is, and we even dropped a video about this 2 months ago, Farid got a new job. And at that time, he had his own like podcast, but he wasn't really uploading a whole lot of content. So if you guys haven't checked out that video, definitely go check it out. But it looks like he actually started dropping content more recently. I think his more recent video, or his podcast, which I don't understand, because Tall Guy and Organik have a podcast, the Top of the Mook podcast, and they haven't been dropping a whole lot of content on there. So why wouldn't they just give that channel to Farid, or Farid can just drop content on there to keep the channel going? Isn't that kind of like how No Jumper does it? No Jumper has other people in the studio with him also dropping content on the same channels. They don't all have like their own separate channels or whatever. Like, if you guys remember AD and what's that other guy's name, House Phone, right? I mean, they're no longer on No Jumper for obvious reasons. If you guys haven't been following No Jumper, I mean, Adam is like all over the place at this point. We were probably gonna drop a video about his wife. That dude lost his mind. That guy completely lost his mind. But the point I was trying to say is, like, he had AD and House Phone and several other guys. What was that other guy? Sharp. They all dropped content on the No Jumper channels. So I thought Organik's cameraman would do the same thing. But it doesn't look like it. Looks like Farid has his own channel now. It's called Fully On. And Organik and Tall Guy, nobody promoted it. Nobody even promoted it. I just happened to be following Farid on IG, and I noticed that he announced it in his story feed. But we're gonna check out a couple different timestamps here. I guess this is the one where he's talking about him quitting his job to work for Organik, which doesn't make sense to me, but let's check it out.
I knew I had it, you know. I learned all these skills for no reason. On my own, bro. I was like, oh, YouTube. Hey, look, man. YouTube is a free school. Search up everything you want, and it's gonna come out. How to change the oil in your car, how to paint your nails, how to drink water. God damn, bro. Everything is on YouTube, bro. Search it up, it's gonna be there, you know. Anyways, so I learned.
He's way more talkative on the podcast. Obviously, it's a podcast, but you just like, you would never think, because if you guys saw him on Organik's channel, like, he was quiet as a mouse. Like, you probably didn't even realize he was even there until like he was like in the car or whatever, like sitting in the back seat recording Organik with these like for those the King of Downtown videos with the girls, like just kind of like a chaperone, or like a what do they call it? A third leg, or whatever the hell they call it. But the point is, he never he was really never talkative. And even when Organik engaged with them, like, he had like very minimal talking points. But it's a totally different side of him to see him on this podcast.
everything on YouTube.
Nuggets.
But anyways, I learned everything on YouTube, and then yeah, man, and I had, I want to say 2 years I working a 9 to 5. I have my daughter, my precious daughter, changed my life from,
Congrats.
you know,
Big deal.
I quit my 9 to 5 the day she was born.
I heard that.
You know, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know how I was gonna pay for rent, the car, insurance, Pampers, wipes, clothes, food for the house. Cause I was living by myself too, and you know my baby mama, and I was like, God damn, bro. 2 months later, I got a dream job, bro. Content.
Hold on, man. This is funny. So he said he quit his 9 to 5 job after he took delivery of his daughter, and he didn't know how to pay the rent. He didn't know how to put food on the table, so on and so forth. And this is his words. And then he got his dream job. So his dream job is basically working for Organic.
Raider, you know.
I remember.
That was dope. That was dope. Do not get me wrong. That was dope.
Experience?
Experience. The job was dope.
You traveled a lot. You
I traveled a lot.
drove every single car.
Look, man, this.
I do remember seeing you in all the cars that I went in.
Yeah,
And I was just like, yeah, no, I remember. I do remember that. That I was like, dang.
Like, I heard these.
You know how it feels, you know what I mean? To
Right.
drive. And don't, that's one of the things I'll tell you, don't forget that. Because I feel like if the more you remember how it feels, the more likely you'll feel
Yeah,
it.
look, this is quote I heard from Peter McCannon, big inspiration from this.
He said, don't forget the experience of driving a Lamborghini. Like, man, you could have rented a Lamborghini for a few $100s. But here's where it doesn't make sense to me. So you quit your 9 to 5 job. I get it. You know, not a lot of people want to work a 9 to 5. I don't want to work a 9 to 5. But I didn't just, like, when I had a 9 to 5, I didn't just quit like that. I mean, I had some money saved up. You guys don't have to follow my path of, you know, starting a business, but I've always thought about having a business because I don't want to depend on anybody. And I also don't want to be controlled by anybody. So some people might feel the same. Some people might disagree. Running a business is not an easy job. So just because you have a business doesn't mean, it's just a printing machine that prints money for you. You actually got to deliver a product or a service. You got to deliver it with good quality standards, with ethics. I mean, it's like running a business, you know. Even if you work for a company, you have to follow certain guidelines, rules, and things of that nature. So some people don't want to have a business because it's a huge responsibility. Some people don't want to wake up 6 o'clock in the morning to deal with frustrating emails or all kinds of stress. People just want to go to work. So he said he quit his job because he found his dream job working for Mr. Organic. But where's that going to take you now? You're going to put Mr. Organic on your resume? Like, where's that exactly going to take you? And here's what it doesn't make sense to me. If Organic is such a successful business, and all you guys hear about if you watch his videos, right? Oh, I got a business meeting here. I got a business meeting there. I got a business partnership there, a business partnership there. If you got all these business partnerships and meetings, why didn't you put Fareed up on game? Why didn't Fareed be like a sponge? See, when you work with, like, if Organic was a true mentor and a coach or whatever, and Fareed is his cameraman, he should be absorbing everything that Organic does if it seems like it's something real valuable. Just like anybody else. If you have a mentor that you interact with or you communicate with, you're going to want to grasp on anything they provide to you because it might be valuable to you in whatever, you know, you decide to do with it. You could use it as a tool, as a resource to start your own business, to acquire new skills or whatever. And if Organic was truly the person he claimed to be, why didn't Fareed absorb like a sponge all that knowledge and do something with it? Why does he have to go create a channel from the ground up, barely with 300 subscribers? He's probably going to get way more subscribers now that I'm talking about it because Organic definitely didn't promote it. Tall Guy never promoted it. So I would think he would have, you know, there would have been more substance to this. You know, not just starting a YouTube channel. Like, you quit your 9 to 5 and now you don't have a job. You don't have your dream job. You're certainly not driving Organic's cars around because he doesn't have cars. So where do you go from here? Because this is like a really tough position. It's not one of like one of these other YouTubers are going to pick you up that easily, especially when they know you came from Organic. So I don't know. That's a tough spot. It's not like a regular. See, when you're working as an employee and you have a resume and you guys can speak, I'm not an expert in this, but most of you guys that have a job, you have a career right now. It's not that when you decide to do like job hopping, you got to explain these gaps. So right now he's not employed by Organik. At least it doesn't seem like it based on the way Organik drops his content and records it. So it doesn't seem like Fareed is really working for him, unless they really just cook it up. And he says that he is working for him, because some people do, like, I've hired many employees that would tell me, oh, I'm still working for this company, and then we would find out through other means that they're really not working there, and they just have like a buddy of theirs, acting as a reference. So that maybe that's the kind of thing that Fareed would do with Organik. Who knows? But he certainly doesn't look like he's working with them, at least right now. So what are you doing? You took that leap of faith. I get it. You had the baby. You took that leap of faith to work for Organik as a content creator to drive all his nice cars. But where does it take you now? Where are you going now? What direction? See, some people want to play that short game, right? They say the short game has more. There's more fun with it, and the longer game, working a 9 to 5 for many, many years, might be a while before you achieve any kind of like real success or any kind of enjoyment. But at least you're going through the journey of it, and you're still making money. Might not be the most amount of money that you want to make, but when it's the short phase of it, like the way Fareed is going through it now he has to start all the way from scratch, but before you had a 9 to 5. It's crazy.
His channel, and then my brother's channel as well. One of his friends once said, do not focus on the goal. It's about the journey, It's whatever it takes me. I met a lot of people because of this. I met famous people. I met great friends. But it's not because of the goal, it's because of the journey, It's whatever the journey takes you, whatever photography video takes me. And like, man, just enjoy the journey, and I think that's the best thing you can do.
It's similar.
So you enjoyed the journey, and where did it take you? Because you're on a channel right now. You got your own podcast, right? You got the Fully On podcast. This channel barely, it's not even monetized, so you're not making money out of this. So you're actually spending money at this point, this setup. So you're running some level of expenses. So you're probably back at a 9 to 5. Unless he's working for another YouTuber doing some content.
I'm kind of the same way that I see it too.
And now we're here, guys. I started my own thing. Started my own platform. Subscribe to it. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, that's a quick little story. Some things I left some things behind, but I forget sometimes. But anyways, yeah, man, that's just me. What about you, bro?
Okay, cool. So a little bit about me. Kind of where I started. I was born here. My name is Jorge. That's my name. People do call me George, right? Or early on.
That's English though. George,
yeah, right.
George,
and I'm comfortable with both, just because.
All right, we're gonna skip around. I'm not really interested in his co-host Jorge or George, but there was one other timestamp here. It was like actually towards the end of the video. It might have been like 37 minutes.
Once you understand that, is you continue with your own. Like if you think people are looking at you, no, they're not. Like they're not. They might look at you for like 30 seconds. They'll forget about you.
Well, yeah, like in 30 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, they're facts. So especially if it's people that are just walking by, day to day. But yeah, people are fearful behind doing that, and that causes fear, from being social. Same thing. But look, I learned it because I forced myself to, and that's the part where I feel like people have to get out of their comfort zone. Hence, this is kind of out of my comfort zone, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to do it, and that's the part where people should learn. It's like even if it's out of your comfort zone, it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. That might also mean that you don't know the details. In this case, I trust you guys, right? So it's different. If you're doing something with someone, trust them.
Oh yeah, of course.
So yeah, that's the point where for me it's like, no, it's out of my comfort zone, but it's going to help me grow. It's going to help me in a certain point in my skills. So people should see things more like that.
Yeah, I feel like just staying inside the box is just you learning what's inside the box. If you get out there more, it's going to be like, come on, man, like.
When did you see that, bro? Because for me, it was college. When I saw the world, like, holy, like, I can't think this small. Like, I cannot. I still feel.
We're aside here. He were aside. I'm always been afraid to reach people out. I don't know why.
Like, what do you
providing my service to them. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a content creator. I wanna, provide with if you need my help, my business. The day I sent the message to first Mr. Organic, he said he needed somebody.
So he just admitted, see, this is where he gets real good. He just admitted that he has a difficult time reaching out to people, and then he's about to explain when he first reached out to Mr. Organic. So what does that tell you guys? If he has a difficult time reaching out to people. So before that, he was always working a 9 to 5. It's only when he got Organic's job that he really took that leap of faith. But he took it with a leap, like he worked for a guy like Organic, which is not like working for Daily Driven Exotics, is not like working for Shmee 150. He's not even like, let's put it like CJ on 32s. Like those guys, at least their channel is somewhat more sustainable. Organic claims he has a multitude of businesses, so YouTube isn't really like his main source, which could be true because he also has the merch business. He has other like projects that he's working with. But now that you just explained that you had a difficult time reaching to Organic, you're going to even have a harder time reaching out to some of these bigger YouTubers that don't even actually check their DMs. A lot of big YouTubers don't even bother reading their DMs, and they're probably not even going to really focus on you all that much. And here's the thing, is Organic going to actually reach out on your behalf to get you networked with other people? Because you claimed earlier on that you got to meet all these popular YouTubers, celebrities, you got to travel places, but what did that do for you? It didn't really add a whole lot of value for you. You can experience things, like I can easily go to events where there's going to be celebrities there, but if I don't bring something to the table, or if people don't recognize my name there, it'll be just like going anywhere. It'll just be like going to the mall. You know, there's no point. Why waste time when you're not going to get anything out of it, is what I'm trying to say. So through Organic, you got to meet celebrities, you got to network with people, but where did it go? It takes you now to a channel with 300 subscribers, and that's supposed to, like, I just don't get it. I thought you were working with the guy that's supposed to be a mentor or a coach to help other people succeed, but I just don't see it.
A videographer, editor. I had the message ready for like an hour, bro. An hour and a half. Because I was scared of, I guess, the commitment of doing this every day.
Yeah.
Did that make sense? Like,
Perfect sense.
It was new. It was like, and something I never experienced, you know. It was my dream job, but I didn't have experience for it, you know. So it's like, I was so scared. I even got an earring on that same night. I was like, wow, fuck it, I'm gonna get an earring. Something that my parents was never in favor on, you know.
So when you got your job for Organic, you went and got some earrings. Like, what? What does that have to do with anything? Hold on, man. Let me replay that. It's kind of hard to understand him, but I thought he said an earring.
Of doing this every day.
Yeah.
Did that make sense? Like,
Perfect sense.
it was new. It was like, and something I never experienced, you know. It was my dream job, but I didn't have experience for it, you know. So it's like, I was so scared. I even got an earring on that same night. I was like, wow, fuck it, I'm gonna get an earring. Something that my parents was never in favor on, you know. And I was like, coping mechanism. Yeah, I'm gonna just get an earring to calm down the I want to
nerves,
say
excitement.
Yeah, the nerves, the adrenaline, you know, all that stuff. I was like, whatever. The next day I met him, I felt good about it.
So if you come out with like a piercing,
yeah, bro, yeah.
Nervous? Hey, why you have that piercing in your ear, bro? Are you nervous?
All right, I don't really understand why he decided to get an earring. I guess that might have helped his emotions or something like that, from what I'm understanding so far. Damn, Fareed. Organic just really... I'm going to be honest with you, man. That dude left you in the dust. That dude... If he the way he presented himself to be on video, that he was so successful that he had a multitude of businesses, he could have easily had you manage one of his businesses, since he has so many that he doesn't really control. He's having a hard time controlling all these partnerships. You would think every single time Organic gets on video and says, I got a business meeting here, a business meeting there, a business meeting here, a business meeting there. Why would you just trust other people to run it? Why can't you give this man Fareed that's been on your team for over a year, hey man, you can manage one of these businesses? Isn't that like Cali Muscle? If you look at his cameraman, like at least the Cali, like I don't really agree with his raffles. They're a little bit interesting in my opinion, but at least his cameraman, his cameraman at least getting something. Like he's getting a piece of the pie. You can see he's getting cars. Like he's having a totally change of lifestyle, where Organic's cameraman doesn't really it honestly looks like he's broke. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. He looks pretty broke to me. Damn, Fareed. It really looks like Organic fired you. It doesn't look like you're getting unemployment. I don't even think Organic pays taxes. I don't think he even qualifies as a small business because he doesn't have the required amount of employees. So that man has to pretty much start from scratch. He has to start this channel, which is called Fully On. Shout out to Fareed. I didn't want to play the whole thing. The whole thing is honestly pretty boring. It was just those 2 timestamps that seemed relatively interesting. The first one that I shared earlier, he talks about, I guess, quitting his job and then getting this opportunity with Organic. And then the second one, he talks about, I guess he was so nervous in reaching out to Organic because he was afraid of rejection, which tells me right there that people that have that mindset normally have a hard time running a business, because when you run a business, you're going to see so much failure in the first 2 years, so many rejections. It's rare to start a business. I don't care what these mentors tell you. I don't care what kind of coach you hire. All these, it seems like everybody on YouTube nowadays has a course, has a class to sell you on how to become a successful businessman, how to run a business, how to go from A to Z, how to make from zero investments to $1 million. All you got to do is just buy their course for $100, $200 to $300. I don't care who tells you what. I've had several businesses. I have several businesses. I don't wish to sit here and talk about businesses because this is not the type of channel for it. There's a billion other channels that do this, and most of them just sell bullshit advice, really. Any business you start, all right, it's different when you acquire a business. If you acquire already an established business that already is running operationally, doing well, you're going to obviously pay out of pocket to accept this business. That's why they call it an acquisition. But if you were to start a business from scratch, it doesn't matter if you've seen 10 other people starting the same business and you start your own, you're always going to run into some kind of failure, some kind of rejection. But that's just part of the learning curve. That's just part of running a business. But this tells me if he was in so much fear like this and just reaching out to one person like Organic, can you imagine if he actually starts reaching out to bigger channels, bigger YouTubers that don't even bother really checking their DMs? He's going to have a hard time. This is probably why he has to resort to creating his own channel. So I would think that if you're hanging out with a bunch of successful people like Tall Guy and Organic, you would have at least picked up on a few strategies or something like that, if they actually are truly the people they claim to be. But I don't know, I'm having a hard time believing the whole thing. And it just looks like he's just starting from scratch at this point. Like he went from a 9-to-5 job to working with Organic to back to starting from scratch as a social media content creator. And anybody that starts off as a content creator from scratch, you're practically making zero money. All right, even when you get monetized with 1,000 subscribers, you're barely going to make a few $100s. So unless you have real legit businesses or a real solid career outside of YouTube, do not quit that. I don't care what anybody else tells you guys. Do not quit your job. Don't be like Fareed and quit your 9-to-5 because some YouTuber or whatever, unless this YouTuber is really established, real solid. Like if you're working for DDE or something like that, that makes sense. But working for a guy that like Organic, nah, that's not gonna work. So yeah, I didn't want to make this whole video about Fareed. We were actually gonna react to the to Organic's last 2 videos, but it's already 24 minutes, so we're just gonna wrap it up here. Let me know what you guys think. You guys can go check out Fareed podcast and let me know what you guys think about it. Organik didn't promote it. Tall Guy didn't promote it. Nobody that he hangs out with, nobody that he worked with promoted it. So what kind of partnership? That's kind of like a slap in the face when your employee, when your best friend, the guy that recorded all this content, and you barely even like promote them, barely announce it on your story feed. I don't know. That's kind of like a slap in the face to me. That somebody from the outside like me has to actually react to it and promote it for whatever it's worth. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching.